Hi, this is Getting Real with Hillary. We are experimenting with some new technology, so this is very exciting. Anyway, what I'm talking about today is, does anybody really know whose fault it is? My whole life growing up, my dad would say, "It's my fault, it's my fault," and then that was the end of the discussion. Looking back, it was a good way to end the discussion. For me, for some reason, I've thought that anybody's upset or frustration or anger is somehow my fault. And I remember saying out loud, well, the only things I know are not my fault are traffic and weather. And I didn't think that was a funny thing to say at the time. So this week, or last couple weeks, there's been a girl at work who's been a little hostile to me. And at first, my first reaction, which is it's my fault. But then I said, you know what? It's not my fault. It's her fault. No, I was really just saying it's not my fault. But I realized over the course of the couple of weeks that wasn't very freeing either. And I'm all about creating freedom and getting real. Now, so I've been looking at it like, oh, well, that doesn't really help me. And I remember, as horrifying as this is to say, that when my mother was at my sister's during the COVID crisis, and normally she's here, around me and my family, but when she was at my sister's and my brother-in-law happened to catch the COVID, as one of my friends calls it, I felt relief. Now, that's a terrible thing to say. My mother could have gotten the COVID. But what I was relieved about was, well, if she did get it, it wouldn't be my fault. And that was like, I could breathe, even though my poor mother might have gotten sick. What I was concerned about was it not being my fault. Like that was some kind of a prize to win. So anyway, what I've been looking at this week is, does it really matter whose fault it is? And why do we spend, at least me, why do I spend so much time with whose fault? Was it my fault? Was it their fault? And if it's not my fault, then I win, they lose. It's kind of like a win-lose situation. So today I was thinking, how do I create freedom? Well, and I've seen this before with other things, what if it's a win-win? What if the whole fault discussion is just something that wastes our time, has us be right, causes shame, causes distance between us, ruins the affinity between people, and just doesn't get us anything good except being right. And I know when I think it's someone else's fault, I'm going to talk about it and prove, well, yeah, it was her fault, not mine, and la, la, la. And like, ooh, do I really want to do that now that I'm aware of it? So, as I was saying, what if it's a win-win? What if I could go to this girl and say, hey, is there something wrong? Did I do something? Let's figure out how to go forward together. And what are we both committed to? How do we get a win-win here? How do we take away the animosity and create affinity? So that's what I'm looking at. I don't know if that gives you food for thought, but if it does, join me in this inquiry. Does it really matter whose fault it is? Thanks for joining me at Getting Real with Hillary, and have a great day.